Videocast number 141, Scout Communications. With the institution of the latest youth protection guidelines, any communication you have with a scout is also subject to no one-on-one contact. And while you can pick apart each of the different communications and find scenarios that you can try and justify that it just doesn't make sense, the reality is that these guidelines are here to stay and are designed to protect both the leader and the scout. As the guideline states, too deep leadership and no one-on-one contact between adults and youth members includes digital communications. Leaders may not have one-on-one private online communications or engage one-on-one in other digital activities, games, social media, etc., with youth members. Leaders should copy a parent and another leader in digital and online communications, ensuring no one-on-one contact exists in text, social media, or other forms of online or digital communications. These all can be challenging when trying to adhere to the regulations with Scouts. One of the benefits of the Scouting program can be for the Scout who might not have the best home life and role models to be able to have some positive interactions with adults. These adults become mentors and someone the Scouts can rely on as constant presences in their lives. Unfortunately, some have used this over time to take advantage of others. In youth protection vernacular, it's called grooming. For email communications, it's easy to get the adults on board, but admittedly can be confusing as I have other leaders in my unit looping me into communications I have little to do with. However, Scouts, it's been a harder go, as Scouts will email me for information pertaining to Eagle, as I'm the troop's Eagle coach, or regarding a merit badge or other troop happenings. The Scout has been much less concerned about the rules and usually does not CC an adult. And I think this can sour the relationship a bit, as the first thing you do prior to replying is to remind the Scout to CC a parent or a leader. But it seems sometimes no matter how often you remind certain Scouts, they continually repeat the same actions. Other communications can be just as troubling. For texting, thankfully, we don't use it for one-on-one communications, but more as a mass communication vehicle through an app called Remind. For phone calls, it can be even harder. As a merit badge counselor, for phone calls, the Scout is the one initiating the call, and if it goes past the short introduction, I ask them to put the phone on speakerphone or ask to speak to mom or dad for a moment. As using the phone has become so out of fashion for younger folks, they usually have mom or dad standing by explaining how all the buttons work anyway. The best you can do is to discuss how you want your troop to handle different communications and set the rules with the adults and the Scouts. Have Scouts complete the cyber chip, which goes into some of the communication basics as well. Even years before the whole cyber chip was initiated, I would have conversations with my Cub Scouts about trust and communication. And while it could be a little bit shocking to the boys, at the time it was all boys back then, this is how far back it was, I would ask them in a group who they should trust. And invariably, I would ask if they should trust me as a leader, and I would have to tell them no, and then segue into the communication about trust and protecting themselves. Take what you like, leave the rest, as we say in Woodbadge. Feedback is a gift. Leave yours below in the comments with all the hope we can learn together. I'm Scoutmaster Dave, and this was a little on Scout Communications.